Hi, everyone. I'm Stephanie Smith, Director of Community Engagement here at the Allen County Public Library. Thank you for taking some time to spend with the library today. We are here to share with you some updates on what will be taking place at our main library branch downtown. A few weeks ago, we had a town hall for all of our staff to join in and find out more about the upcoming Roland Center and what it means for the library and the community. And they were so excited about it that we want to share that same information with you today. So we have a whole team of Allen County Public Library employees joining us today from our Special Collections Department and Reader Services to share with you some important information. So now I'd like to introduce Kurt Witcher, who is the Director of Special Collections for the Allen County Public Library. And Kurt, I will let you introduce who you have with you today from your team.
Thank you so much, Stephanie, and hello. It's wonderful to have an opportunity to talk with you and to have my colleagues share with you some really amazing things that are happening here at the Allen County Public Library's main branch. Together with me are two of my colleagues, senior Lincoln librarians, Emily Raposa and Jesse Cortese. And together we will walk through the first part of this presentation on some exciting things that are happening right here at the main branch. So we want to talk about the Roland Center for Lincoln Research. This has been a project that's been in the works for a couple of years, and we're going to share with you a couple slides just to get you excited as we are about the Roland Center. So you might ask, so what is this Roland Center for Lincoln Research? Well, there are really four what we call parts of our big idea. So the first part of our big idea is to connect people to the life and times of Abraham Lincoln. Many in our community can still recall when the Lincoln Museum was here and how that was really a ritual for many school kids to at least once or twice during their K through 12 education go to the museum. For many families like mine, summer times, vacation times were great times to go to the museum. So when the museum closed the Lincoln collection there and State Museum and the Allen County Public Library collaborated to keep the collection in Indiana, half the collection is here at the Allen County Public Library, and we wanted to share that with you. So connecting people again with the life and times of Lincoln, really, really important. We want to display and bring to life what we really consider to be an incomparable collection, things you will find nowhere else. And not only do we consider it an incomparable collection, many scholars and other Lincoln officials consider it an amazing collection. We want it to be as present and available to our community as it ever has been. So we want to not only make it available, but we want to have what we call a 21st century engaging experience. So we're going to have artifacts available for people to enjoy and appreciate and explore, but we're also going to use technology to help people craft experiences and engage with the collection in many, many different ways. You'll be amazed at what you will see early next year in 2020. And the final part of our big idea is to add to the wonderful, amazing things about Fort Wayne and Allen County and Northeast Indiana that draw people here. We want the Roland Center to truly be a destination for people both inside our community and outside our community. So that's kind of the big idea with the Roland Center. And I'm going to hand it off to one of my colleagues, Jesse Cortese, to begin to walk through just what this is being planned to look like in early second quarter, late first quarter of 2021. Jesse?
Thanks, Kurt. I'm so excited to share with you guys what we've been working on here at the Lincoln Collection. So this is a larger view to kind of situate for you guys where the center will be located. Along the middle, you see the Great Hall. This is the east end of the Great Hall. Further there to the right, you see the east end entrance at the plaza entrance. And to the south here, we've got the maker space to try and orient that for you. Now these set of red double doors there, that's the main entrance to the Roland Center. And now this is the first bay over here to the right as well. So the Roland Center will be taking up the second and third bays that are located there currently. And you can kind of see around the corner here, it leads into readers. So we're nestled up right into readers and take just a few stacks that are currently at the back of readers. So little postage stamp size space here. But I want to show you guys the details of the inside. So let's move along to that here. On the right side, we've got what we're calling the gallery space. So right when you walk in, you see our very first tech element, the feature wall there. And then right in the center is the presentation room. Off to the right, we have what we're calling Lincoln's Time and Place. It is a touchscreen interactive experience that will feature, timelines as well as maps, so we can pin items in the collection to their historical time and place where they originated. Moving on further north, we have the Lincoln Family Album projection. Emily will share a little more details with you in a second. We've also got a collection kiosk up there in the corner. We've got a few of those scattered around the space where people can dig into the documents a little more deeply. Along the back as well, we've got built-in display cases. These will be floor-to-ceiling built-ins where we can house many, many collection items, way more than we can currently put on display. Right now, we have about 3 jewelry cases that we can fill with items, but now we're gonna have so much more space. We're gonna be able to have hundreds of items out on display. We're so excited. Moving along, we've got the Expert in Residence projection. Just outside our Expert in Residence space, we'll be projecting on the glass right there. And then moving back south, we've got some more display case space, as well as a closet tucked into the corner here where we can store some of our chairs for the presentation room and tables, etc. Up at the back, we've got the Lincoln Workspace. This is where mine and Emily's desks will be, as well as our interns and volunteers. And when we do have an expert in residence with us, they'll be here in this office. So that expert would be an artist or a scholar, anybody who would be willing to come in and use our collection to further their scholarship or their art, and just share their expertise with us in the public here in Allen County. Lastly, in the corner, we've got the archive. So currently the Lincoln librarians, our space is down here on lower level 2 of the main library. But after the Rowland Center is here, we will be relocating our entire space on LL2 up to the first floor. Now, the Lincoln collection will still have items in the Rare and Fine Books room on lower level 1 of main, and those items will remain there. But the stuff that's in our offices will be all moving up with us. And next, I want to tell you guys a bit about what we've been doing all this year to make this amazing space happen. Emily and I combined have put in 710 hours approximately just this year. We got started a little bit at the end of 2019, but just counting from January of this year, and it's been an amazing time working with external partners as well as internal partners. Emily and I have put together 379 items over 6 curated lists. What that means is we have identified these 6 themes that items in our collection can best tell those stories. So we've kind of separated those out so we can organize our exhibits and our tech elements around these stories. To go along with those lists, we've created 6 narrative one-sheets, which is just a 1-page explanation of situating the context of that theme with our items to kind of give our external partners a better idea of what we're aiming for here. To make all this happen, we've been doing 4 meetings a week on average. And during those meetings, we've been working on a wide variety of things. Initially, we spent a lot of time getting our floor plans right and making changes there, and deciding how we want to use our space most efficiently. We've also been doing technology brainstorming, creating content, of course, spending a lot of time researching equipment and display cases, of course. And right now, we're really in the weeds on reviewing documents and mock-ups. So I'm going to show you some mock-ups here today as well, but please keep in mind that these are initial mock-ups and we're still in the development process. So they are likely to change a little bit, but not too much at this stage. So let's go take a look at those. This is the outside view of the Roland Center, standing right there by the plaza entrance, looking west down the Great Hall. So you see the signs there on either side of that black arch. And inside that black arch, you can kind of see a little photo there. That is Mr. Ian Roland. He is the main donor for this project. We really wanted to honor him in a meaningful way. So if we go on to the next image here, we can see the opposite side of that arch. You see a little bit of text in there. So we've got an image and text honoring him right there at the entrance, to be sure people realize his legacy and how his mission to protect the Lincoln Collection is really the reason why it was able to remain here in Allen County. So right inside those doors, the very first thing everybody will see is the welcome wall. This is a projection that will allow us to feature some of the top items in the collection, the most famous items, like our copy of the Emancipation Proclamation or the 13th Amendment, Lincoln signed documents. The options are endless. Moving on. This is another little view there right to the right inside the doors. And this is where Lincoln's Time and Place, that touchscreen experience, will be located. We also got a little view of some of the collection kiosks, what those are going to look like as well. And with this, I'll pass you guys off to Emily.
Thank you, Jessie, so much for showing us the space for the new Roland Center. And now I would love to delve into some of the technology we're going to have. So like Jessie mentioned, we do have some timelines that are going to be showing up, but not just our timelines, but also our maps. Our collection has both a lot of information about Lincoln's time, but also the places that he was involved in. What you can see here on the screen is an example of what our timeline interactive looks like. The screen at the top here displays all of our various elements, dates, images, and documents, while the bottom will be a full touch screen, allowing for anybody to walk up, touch, and immediately interact with and see certain dates or specific locations on our maps. We also have that huge open space in the middle of the room. This is our presentation room. We're really excited about this because this is our 180 projection space. So visitors will be able to come into the space. They will get to not only experience Lincoln, but experience it all around them. So we'll be able to create and display various collection items, but also show 180 videos with accompanying sound as well around them. This also creates a small space for us to have more intimate, specific tours and pull out objects for different groups that come into our space as well. There is something in our collection here at the Allen County Public Library in the Lincoln Collection that no other collection in the world has, and that is the Lincoln Family Album. These are the photos that belong to Mary and Abraham and were passed down through later generations of the Lincolns. Now, just as a fun fact, there are actually one other collection that claims this album. It is the Springfield Lincoln Collection. They have the album. We have all the photos. So we're going to display those photos. So we have a Lincoln Family Album tree that will be projected up floor to ceiling in one of our locations. Here you'll be able to see not only the full family tree, but you will also get to see more information about the individuals that make up the family, as well as bios, fun facts, and new interesting ways of interacting with the family elements. You might have noticed when Jessie was giving us a walkthrough that there are collection kiosks that appear all over the space. These are our deep dive opportunities. So our collection has thousands of documents in it, thousands of images in it, and we want to give everyone an opportunity to dive into what they're interested in. These kiosks will allow people to explore a variety of elements in our collection, and what's great is they can not only see what's here at the Allen County Public Library, but they can also see our holdings down at the Indiana State Museum. Scattered out throughout the space will also be these large digital frames. These frames will feature all sorts of images and artwork from the collection, and it allows us to show off more things that we might not be able to physically put in the space. So you'll see various images of the family, of our battle scenes, of newspapers, just about anything you can think of, we'll be able to display up and show off with the actual physical items. The welcome wall that Jesse showed you before as well is such a great opportunity for us to really invite everyone into the space. It's huge, it's floor to ceiling, it's going to show off the most important parts of our collection, and it's really going to be kind of this centerpiece that aligns people with what's going on in the space. It is also an excellent selfie opportunity if you do come and visit. And as Kurt mentioned, we are opening hopefully first quarter, spring of 2021. And we are so excited to be able to get to share our collection from the basement down here up into the actual public space.
Thank you so much, Emily, for your great explanation. You and Jesse did a really nice job. There are other exciting things, though, happening at the main library as well over the next several months. And it gives me great pleasure to introduce another colleague, Matt Etzel, who is the manager of our Reader Services Department. And Matt's going to share with us some other exciting things happening here at the main library.
Thank you, Kurt. It's a pleasure to talk to you all. I'm going to show you kind of what's going to be affected at Maine here. All right, so how will other areas of Maine be affected? I'm showing you here a larger view of kind of the footprint for the Roland Center. You can see that red line running around here is going to be the affected areas. The blue line is where construction will be constructing walls so they can do their work. So the first two bays in the Great Hall are the obvious ones that will be affected. And those materials are getting moved into the Reader Services Department. And we've started that process already. So you will notice that. In the department itself, we have these 4 runs of double-sided stacks and then 4 runs of 15 double-sided stacks right along here that will be removed to make room for the collection. So that is approximately 32,000 items in the nonfiction section of Reader Services. So we're going to do a couple different things in order to free up that space. So the first thing that we do is something that we do all the time, every day, as part of our job. So the librarians will assess the collection. So I won't be doing this on my own. Here in Reader Services, I have a team of 6 professional librarians under me to help with this process. So what do we look at? We look for outdated materials. On the picture on the left, you can see travel guides. So travel guides are books that list, hotel contact information and things to visit, and they get published for the most part every year. And we have every new travel guide that is published for all the U.S. and most of the world. We do get new travel books every year. So that means we have a lot that, are 5 years old, 10 years old, even a couple years old. We can move those, or we just keep updating those. So on the right, another thing we look for is duplicates. So when books come out, they're very popular. And so we get multiple copies of those books. And as time goes by, we don't need quite as many of those. So we can go through and look for some of that as well. In addition, as we do every day, we look for damaged items that may be in need of repair or some care, or items that are maybe not as popular, so we can move those down to storage so they can be available on request. But they don't need to be taking up the shelf space right here. So. After assessing the collection, which is ongoing, we're going to work together to shift the collection. This is going to be a collaboration of several different departments, Reader Services and the Material Support Service here at Maine. The first thing that's going to happen is this section right back here in the very back corner of the department has some bound periodicals in it. We will be moving those and reuniting them with their brothers that are already in our lower level 2 storage. So we'll get that kind of a constant collection all in the same place, which will be really nice. The oversized materials in reader services for nonfiction run along the walls here. So we will use this free space and move the oversized materials in here and then along this wall as much as we need to. So that will clear up some space in here, and as well as getting this ready for the roll-in center. So the rest of this will be shifted. So we're going to take use a team and go through starting with the 000s, which are right here at the beginning. And we're just going to shift and compact all of this back so that we can clear up those 4 rows of space, those 4 runs that we need. So we will move them from, so the roll-in center will come through here. So we'll move these over and down and just keep working our way forward until we hit the 900s and fit it all into that space. So while we're doing that, things are going to be moving around a lot. And if you have a favorite spot or a favorite aisle or a favorite row, that item is not going to be there anymore. It's going to be moved. So we'll have these signs up all over the place. But please, this is why we're here. This is why I have librarians and a staff. So please come ask us. We're happy to help you. We're happy to get something for you that you can't find. That is why we exist, and we love doing that, and we love helping you. So please don't hesitate to come find us. Thank you.
Thank you again, everyone, for joining us, for taking the time to learn more about the Roll-In Center for Lincoln Studies and also what's happening at the main library. We understand that you love the library. Our community is very passionate about this treasure that we have here. And so if you have questions, we do have some resources for you. So if you have questions specific to the Roll-In Center or the Lincoln Collection, you can email our 2 Lincoln librarians, and that email address is provided right there on the screen for you. Or if you have other library-based questions, and it could be anything. What resources do we have? Where are things moving? How do you get a library card? You can either call us or email us at ask@acpl.info. We will also have all this information on our website, so if you want to forward it on to others. Again, we are very excited about the opportunity to really highlight the Lincoln Collection and make it more available for the public to come see. So we will continue to update our website with information as the project moves along. But in the meantime, please, again, let us know if you have any questions or concerns. And again, thank you for supporting your library.